There's a simpler way to approach construction contracts, and in this video, I'm going to give you the framework I used that when I understood made my life 1,000 times easier. But first, let's understand the problem. Why do people struggle with construction contracts? So imagine I gave you a jigsaw puzzle with 5,000 pieces and you didn't know what the end puzzle was meant to look like. It would be pretty tough to put it together. Well, construction contracts can feel a little bit like that. When we get handed a contract that's 70 pages long with 100 attachments, we don't even know where to start. Construction contracts aren't confusing by accident. They're confusing by design. Think about it. Each clause, each seemingly redundant phrase has entered its way into the contract because at some point in time, something went wrong. Someone got burned, a dispute ended up in court, and lawyers had to enter the clause into the contract to prevent that same thing happening again. That's why when we try to read through a contract, we see things like 10-line sentences saying including but not limited to, definitions for seemingly straightforward words, multiple clauses that seem to say the exact same thing, and references to obscure laws. Contracts aren't meant to be user-friendly, they're meant to be bulletproof. Its job is to protect the party that drafted the contract when millions of dollars are at stake. If we go back to our jigsaw analogy, the real challenge isn't understanding specifically what each piece shows, it's about understanding how all the pieces fit together. We need a framework to navigate the contract, and that's exactly what I'm going to show you. Contracts are simply like the rules of a game, like the rules of a game of chess. When we think about it, the rules tell us that a bishop can only move diagonally, that a pawn can only move forward, or that a queen can move anywhere. The rules specify what you can and can't do and the timing and sequence of the game. Contracts are identical to the rules of a game. If we think about it, contracts tell us what each party has to do at the start of the project, the contractor has to provide security and insurances, and the principal has to provide access to site. They tell us the defined parameters within which each party needs to act. For example, you can only submit a variation with formal written notice. Payment claims need to follow a set defined procedure, and any extension of time claims first have to give notice within a set period of time. Contracts are simply rulebooks. They tell us what we can and can't do, and the quicker you start to think about contracts as the rules of a game, rather than some mountain of paper that's impossible to understand and any specific thing you look at is confusing, you'll simplify how you see contracts and you'll be better able to use them. With that framework in mind, as a construction manager, at the end of the day, all you need to do is follow the rules. You need to understand what the contract says and what the contract tells you to do in different specific situations. So next time, don't get confused, don't get overwhelmed, simply realize a contract what it is. It's a set of rules, and as a construction manager, whether you're managing the head contract or you're managing subcontractors, you simply need to understand the rules and then play by them.